वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। All glorious assembled devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. This is Sunil from India, welcoming all of you to the mid-morning japa session. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for the interrupting your ecstatic chanting. Let us move on to our next part of this session. This is Sri Caitanya Bhagavat class. May I know who all have joined this call morning?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam, Sarvori, Srishla Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirti Dasi. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your services, and thank you, Arita Mataji, for the very beautiful recitation.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dhanvat. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day. All glories to wonderful services. And thank you so much, Harita Mataji, for your beautiful recitation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uma from Portland, Oregon. Thank you, Harita Mataji. Very beautiful recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Uma Mataji Dhanvat. Please accept my humble obeisances. And thank you so much for joining the call every day. Hare Krishna. Please keep joining.
Hare Krishna, Sunil Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to all the devotees on the call. This is Harita from Texas, and thank you, Mataji, and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dhanvat. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for joining every day and for wonderful recitations of Bhagavad Gita chapter 15. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashmati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago, and all glories to your services, Prabhuji, and thank you, Harita Mataji, for beautiful recitation of Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna Yashomati Priya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to your wonderful services, which you have been doing for so many years. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and all devotees.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna Neetu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every single day. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sunil Prabhu, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada Tilkudev ki jai. Vrunda from Atlanta, Paniyati Dham.
Hare Krishna Vinda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every single day. Please keep joining. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Sunil Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Gauranga ki jai. This is Shivani from Ashram, Virginia. Thank you, Rita Mataji, for the beautiful Bhagavad Gita recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shivani Mataji Dandat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every single day. All glories to wonderful services. Please keep joining. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhupada, this is Preeti Vilasini Devi Dasi from Atlanta. Thank you, Prabhu, for the warm welcoming, and thank you, Harita Mataji, for the very beautiful recitation today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Preeti Vilasini Mataji Dandat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your wonderful association every day. People, please keep joining.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandat pranams to you, Dandat pranams to all devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Sumi from California.
Hare Krishna Sumi Mataji Dandat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day. Please keep joining. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us move to our next session. Today's class will be given by Her Grace Arcana Bhakti Mataji on Caitanya Bhagavat, Antya Khanda, chapter number 9, verses from 380 to 394. Before handing over the call, I would like to wish Srila Prabhupada's quote. 18th May. Now I have come back to my home, Vrindavan. If anything should go wrong, at least I will be here in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is for residence, Bombay is the office for organization, and Mayapur is the worship of the Supreme Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This instruction was given to Guru Kripa in May 18, 1977 by Srila Prabhupada. Haribol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna Archana Bhakti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your wonderful association. I would like to hand over call to you. Please take over.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Just 1 second.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad ki Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai Om Agyanati Mirandhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for joining for today's Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat session. My humble obeisances to all the devotees. Is my voice audible? Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. So today we are going to read from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat's Antya Khanda, chapter 9, text 380 onwards. But before that, we'll just quickly see the context. This chapter 9, is entitled Sri Advaita Mahima Varnana, description of Advaitacharya's, Srila Advaitacharya's glories. So in this chapter, we saw in the beginning how Advaitacharya invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for prasadam, and then just so that he can feed, just so that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would eat everything that he has prepared. He, by his potency, he caused rains so that the other sannyasis could not come. So we saw that pastime of Srila Advaitacharya and how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also glorified Advaitacharya. Then we also saw in this chapter how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent Damodar Pandit to see Mother Sachi. And when he came back, Mahaprabhu inquired from him if his mother was, practicing devotional service. And Damodar Pandit says, "My Lord, how can you ask like that? Whatever devotion you have, it is only because of your mother." And hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very pleased. Also in this chapter, we saw how all the devotees wanted to invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to their homes.
to serve him prasadam. And Mahaprabhu set a condition. Only the master of 100,000 could invite him for a meal. So then they all became sad. Then Mahaprabhu said, you didn't understand. When I said master of 100,000 doesn't mean 100,000 gold coins, but somebody who chants 100,000 names of the Lord every day, he could invite. And they became very blissful and they all agreed. And they invited Mahaprabhu to their house to take prasadam. And then we also saw in this chapter how bhakti is more glorious than any other sadhana. So this is the conversation between Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and Keshav Bharati. So Mahaprabhu inquired from his guru Keshav Bharati, which is superior, jnana or bhakti? So then when Keshav Bharati replied that bhakti is more glorious than anything else, Mahaprabhu became very pleased by that answer, and he said that if he had said that jnana was superior, then actually he asked more. Why is devotional service? So when he said bhakti is superior, he said, why is bhakti better than jnana? Then he said that they don't know the path of great souls. They don't know the path that the great souls walk. That means the jnanis, they don't know the path that the great souls walk. Fools leave the path of the scriptures that the great souls walk. So what is the path of scriptures? The path that Mahajano yena gatasya pantha. The path that Mahajanas take, that path fools don't understand. So these Mahajans, they take the path of bhakti. So in this way, he glorified the path of bhakti, also quoting various verses. And Mahaprabhu said, Mahaprabhu himself glorified bhakti. He said that now I will stay a few days more on this earth, because he heard from Keshav Bharati's mouth that devotional service is the best. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very joyful. And he said, if you had said that jnana was better than bhakti, if you had said that jnana is the best, I would have drowned myself in the ocean. So we saw that episode also. Then we also saw that they were singing directly the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Normally, Mahaprabhu does not like anyone calling him the Supreme Lord. And devotees would be afraid of singing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories, because Mahaprabhu would not approve that. He would tell them to sing the glories of Krishna. But on this particular day, by the inspiration of Advaita Acharya, everyone became fearless and they all started singing the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that pastime was also seen. And when Srivas Thakur was singing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Why did you give up chanting the names of Krishna?" And then Srivas Thakur, he showed, with his hand, like he's covering the sun. He said, "Can I cover?" So Mahaprabhu asked, "What are you trying to gesture?" He said, "Can I cover the sun with my hand? Similarly, the way I cannot cover the sun with my hand, in the same way you cannot hide yourself, hide your identity from the world," like that. Then finally, we came to the pastime where once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, they were taking prasadam. And so what happened was, two fortunate persons approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That means Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. They had come to visit Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu said that if you want, they said, "Please give us your mercy." So then Mahaprabhu said, if you want a pure devotional service, if you want to break the bonds of material life, then you have to fall on the lotus feet of Advaita Acharya. Then you will get pure devotional service. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is showing the glory of Advaita Acharya. And then when both of them, Sri Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, when they fell on the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, Mahaprabhu told him that he recommended them to Sri Advaita Acharya and said that in Kali Yuga nobody is as renounced as these two. So please give your mercy to them. Like that. You are the treasure house of pure devotional service. So you please give your mercy to them. Like this. Then Mahaprabhu, after they received the mercy of Advaita Acharya, of course, he is also in great humility saying that whatever power he has is only coming from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he blessed wholeheartedly. He blessed Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave them the instruction that after a few days, then you go to Mathura. And he gave them some instructions about their services there. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was revealing the identities of different devotees, who they are in the spiritual world, how they took birth as devotees in this world. So one day, Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, and other devotees were around Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At that time, Srivas Thakur asked Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to speak about Advaita Acharya. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "You tell me, Srivas, what is the identity of Advaita Acharya? Which great Vaishnava is dwelling in Advaita Acharya?" So Srivas Thakur said that I think he's like Prahlad, maybe Prahlad Maharaj or Sukadev Goswami. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very angry. He said, "What did you say? Srivas Pandit, you said my Nara is Sukadev or Prahlad? If you say he's Sukadev, then tomorrow all children will say, they will say, because you are saying, tomorrow all children will say, Advaita Acharya, Nara is Sukadev. You made me very unhappy." Then, after saying this, Mahaprabhu picked up a stick to beat Srivas Thakur and drive him away. He was so unhappy. Then immediately Advaita Acharya grabbed the hand of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and said, "My Lord, please forgive him," like that. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave up his anger and he explained the glory of Advaita Acharya, that he is not a living entity. He is the Lord, the Upadana Karana of, that means the ingredient cause of this material creation. He is Lord Vishnu. He is not a living entity. He revealed the glory of Advaita Acharya to Srivas Thakur. Then after hearing this, trembling with fear, Srivas Thakur said, "I committed an offense. Oh Lord, please forgive me. You alone know the truth about Advaita Acharya. Now that you are teaching us, we will also know about this. Today, I have become very fortunate." And saying this, he said, "I make a vow today. Even if Advaita Acharya drinks wine or embraces an outcast woman, I will always have great devotion towards Advaita Acharya." That is the context here. Advaita Acharya is such a great exalted personality that even if I ever see him committing so-called abominable activities in this world, still I will have devotion towards him. I will have great devotion towards Advaita Acharya. That's the context. Mahaprabhu was very pleased with Srivas Thakur's words. Then from there we see that just give me 1 second. So Srivas Thakur said, "From today, my resolve is that if Advaita Prabhu touches even wine or women, still I will have staunch devotion for him. I'm making this promise." That means when Srivas Thakur understood from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Advaita Acharya should not be considered from an external worldly position. As a devotee, you don't see him as a devotee from an external position. That means he's saying, from today onwards, I will accept Advaita Acharya only as Vishnu Tattva. I will not consider Advaita Prabhu on the same level as living entities who are attached to intoxication, illicit sex. That's the meaning when he's saying that even if I see Advaita Acharya with a low-class woman or with, in a wine house, even if I see him, still I will not, my devotion for him will not diminish. That means I will not consider Advaita Prabhu on the same level as living entities who are attached to these bad habits. What else do we understand from this? That means great Vaishnavas, they are untouched by material qualities. It is not possible for not great Vaishnavas. Here we are talking about Vishnu Tattva. Advaitacharya is Vishnu Tattva. It is not possible for Vishnu Tattva to become materially contaminated or materially affected. Another lesson here. Vishnu Tattva cannot be materially contaminated or materially affected. So this also applies to a pure devotee. A pure devotee should not be seen from a materialistic point of view. Okay? And then hearing Srivas Thakur's words, so there's so much meaning when he said that even if I see Advaita Acharya drinking wine or with a woman, if I see him with a low-class woman, still my devotion to him will not diminish. That means there is so much meaning behind that. That being Vishnu Tattva, he cannot be contaminated. Even externally, if you see that they are doing those activities which are considered to be materially, they are considered to be abominable, Vishnu Tattva or a pure devotee of the Lord cannot be touched by these things. So, you should not see a pure devotee from a materialistic point of view. This is the message. And when Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu heard this from Srivas Thakur, he became very pleased. But the point is, this narration, this pastime, it is very confidential. Very confidential means it is not known. It's a secret. Who knows it? Only Lord Gauranga knows. Lord Gaurchandra alone knows the influence and devotion of a devotee. That means externally, by seeing, ordinary people can misunderstand Vaishnavas. An ordinary person may fail to recognize the exalted position of a Vaishnava, seeing his external activities. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Mahaprabhu knows the influence and devotion of a devotee. What is the power of a devotee? What is the devotion of a devotee? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows. And he also knows who is senior, who is junior. In other words, who is more exalted, the hierarchy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows that. And whoever serves the Lord without duplicity, he can also understand. That means regardless of a devotee's external activities, his exalted position in bhakti is known to Lord Gauranga, and it is also known to a devotee who serves the Lord without duplicity. He can understand the position of a Vaishnava. The way knowing about the Supreme Lord is very difficult. Simply by studying Vedas, you cannot understand the Supreme Lord. Vedeshu durlabham. Durlabham means very difficult. By studying Vedas, can you understand Krishna, Govinda? It says Vedeshu durlabham. Then how can you understand Adurlabham Atma Bhakto? By pure devotional service, when you attract his attention, then he reveals himself to you, then you can know him. But simply by studying Vedas, one cannot know him. In the same way, the way knowing the Supreme Lord and the science of the Supreme Lord is difficult simply by studying Vedas, in the same way, knowing the Vaishnavas is also equally difficult. You cannot know Vaishnavas simply by studying the Vedas. Why? Because the devotees of the Lord, by seeing their activities, you cannot always judge based on their external activities. You cannot judge the position of the Vaishnava. That's why it is very difficult. Several verses are quoted from Shastra, from Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, since neither Lord Shiva nor you nor I could ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness, how can other demigods know it? And because all of us are bewildered by the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord, we can see only this manifested cosmos according to our individual ability. That means here, Lord Brahma is saying to Narad Muni, neither Lord Shiva nor I, nor you can ascertain the limits of spiritual happiness. How can other demigods know it? Why? Because we are all bewildered by the illusory external energy of the Supreme Lord. If this is the position of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, then what to speak of anyone else? Then, so that means it is very difficult to understand the Supreme Lord. That is the first point. And the way it is difficult to understand the Supreme Lord, it is equally difficult to understand the devotees of the Supreme Lord, the pure devotees of the Lord. Therefore, no one should be astonished to see the activities of the most exalted devotees of Lord Narayan. You shouldn't be astonished to see the activities of the exalted devotees, because they are free from attachment and envy. So what are we understanding here? Where is this discussion leading to? The characteristics of a perfect Vaishnava are most extraordinary. But not understanding this, people criticize them and then they suffer the consequences. This is the topic. The characteristics of a perfect Vaishnava are most extraordinary. Not understanding this, people criticize them and then suffer the consequences. So you see, devotees who are on the platform of Prema Bhakti, they appear like madmen to the people of this world, to the materialistic people or to the people in this world. Because in their ecstasy of love of Godhead, they are sometimes crying loudly or laughing loudly, or they will be offering obeisances to rocks and stones, because they are seeing their worshipable deity everywhere. This is the position of a devotee who is on the platform of love of Godhead. We have many examples in the purports. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes Vamsidas Babaji. Also, we have Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. You know, so people misunderstand them. Seeing their activities, people misunderstand and sometimes criticize them. But this criticism is very, very dangerous. They will have to suffer the consequences. So, The characteristics of a perfect Vaishnava are very extraordinary, and it's not easy to understand for ordinary people. These devotees are confidential servants of the Lord. So, to show this, one example is given. These confidential devotees of the Lord, they transgress the etiquette sometimes. Transgression of etiquette by Krishna's devotee is seen. For example, in this history of Bhrigu Muni, in the descriptions of Bhrigu's characteristics, we see transgression of etiquette. He did not hesitate to place his feet on the chest of the Supreme Lord. The Lord who is so affectionate to his devotees. By this action of kicking the chest of the Lord, Bhrigu Muni is demonstrating his confidential servitorship to the Lord. Ati Vishramba Bhava. Extremely confidential service or mood. And also it shows Atyasakti, intense attachment to the service of the Lord. That means such confidential devotees you will see sometimes, you will see that they are transgressing the general etiquette that is to be observed. But this transgression is done because of their very confidential, Ati Vishramba Bhava. That means extreme confidential mood, or Atyasakti, intense attachment to the Lord. But foolish people cannot understand this and misunderstand the actual purpose behind this transgression. So therefore, to show the characteristics of a perfect Vaishnava, to show that the characteristics of a perfect Vaishnava are most extraordinary, one example is given how Bhrigu Muni is actually a pure devotee of the Lord who's always thinking about the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu day and night. And even though he kicked the chest of Lord Vishnu, he is still accepted as the topmost Vaishnava. That means Vaishnavas, sometimes by their external activities, you don't understand. But still he is a great devotee. Even though externally it appears like he has committed a great offense, he is still accepted as a topmost Vaishnava. So then, in this connection, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur explains this itihasa, history, that once upon a time all the sages gathered on the banks of river Saraswati and they were performing a great sacrifice, and the sacrifice was hearing from Puranas. And they all assembled there to discuss about who was the supreme among Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. Who is the supreme? Somebody said Brahma is supreme. Someone else said it is Lord Shiva. Someone said it's Lord Narayan. And also in scriptures also, there are different statements. In some places it is said Lord Vishnu is supreme. In other places it is said Lord Shiva is supreme. So how do we arrive at the final conclusion? Then all the sages requested Bhrigu Muni, you please gather evidence and establish the actual truth. You are the seniormost amongst us in every respect. You are the best knower of the truth. You are Manasa Putra of Lord Brahma. So please, you go and you find out, you determine who is the greatest, and then you please return to this assembly and you give your final conclusion. You remove our doubts. And whatever you tell us, we will accept that as the final truth. So in this way, Bhrigu Muni set out, and first he went to Brahmaloka, his father's place. And then he just went and stood in front of Brahmaji. Brahmaji was very pleased to see his son. And he asked, "How are you, my dear son?" But because Bhrigu Muni had gone there to test who is best, Brahma, Shiva, or Lord Vishnu, who is topmost, who is the Supreme Lord. So therefore, he didn't answer anything when Brahmaji inquired from him. He didn't offer obeisances. He didn't follow any etiquette. And also he was not listening to his father attentively when Brahmaji was inquiring. He didn't offer any prayers, no obeisances. He neglected the etiquette that was to be observed. What was the effect on Brahmaji? Brahmaji became displeased. He wanted to burn Bhrigu Muni to ashes. So by this, it is proved that he didn't understand the glory of Bhrigu Muni, who's a great devotee. He didn't understand. That's how he became angry. He didn't understand Bhrigu Muni is a great devotee, isn't it? So Brahmaji is not accepted as the best of the three Gunavataras. That was the first test that Bhrigu Muni conducted. Then he went to Lord Rudra, Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is the older brother of Bhrigu Muni. He's a senior. Considering Bhrigu to be his younger brother, Lord Shiva went to embrace him, and Bhrigu Muni just said, "Don't touch me." Then Rudra became very angry. Once again, Bhrigu understood Lord Rudra is also not the supreme because he succumbed to anger. Then he went to the milk ocean, to Lord Vishnu, who was being served by Lakshmi Devi. And as soon as he went and kicked on the chest of Lord Vishnu, who was there with Lakshmi Devi. And what was Lord Vishnu's response? He immediately got up, and instead of becoming angry, he was very joyful to see Bhrigu Muni. And then he said, "Please excuse my offense. I didn't notice that you came. And my chest is so hard. By kicking my chest, your soft lotus feet, they must have gotten hurt." So he started massaging the lotus feet like that. The Lord said to Bhrigu that he accepted the feet of a great devotee on his chest, where his maidservant Lakshmi resides. So this was the past time. So obviously Bhrigu Muni understood the position of Lord Vishnu. So after testing, what did he do? Lord Vishnu said, "I have committed an offense because I was unaware of your arrival and did not receive you properly. I beg your pardon." He said, "This water that was used to wash your feet is so pure, it can sanctify the places of pilgrimage." The Lord washed Bhrigu's lotus feet, and he said, "Now this water can sanctify." That means the Lord was being so nice and so kind. There was no anger. He was not insulted or offended in any way. So Bhrigu Muni was struck with wonder, and he felt ashamed. He kicked the chest of the Lord, and the Lord is feeling, sorry. There was no anger in him. So he was very, Bhrigu Muni felt very ashamed. Now, one thing that we should note is Bhrigu Muni is kicking the Lord. It was not his plan. So that with that now we will come to our shloka, what we are supposed to read now. Today's is text 380. Whatever I told you now is just a background. So he came back to the sages and he informed them that it is Lord Vishnu who is the supreme. Because one who is not able to, one who has conquered anger and lust, only that person is, that means he concluded that Lord Vishnu, seeing Lord Vishnu's humble behavior, he concluded that Lord Vishnu was beyond the influence of lust, anger, greed, and illusion. That's the point. Then, of course, because he's a pure devotee of the Lord, because of his devotional sentiments, he started exhibiting symptoms of ecstasy like laughing, shivering, perspiring, like that. And then he started dancing, saying that Krishna is the Lord and the life of all. He is the Supreme Lord. And he declared this truth. And then he surrendered himself to the Lord and returned to the sages. And then the sages inquired, what did you find out? And he said, we will accept whatever you say as conclusive. So he told everything that happened in Brahma's abode, then in Lord Shiva's abode and Lord Vishnu's abode. And he said, Narayan, the Lord of Vaikuntha, is the greatest of all. This is the truth. This is the truth and this is the truth. 3 times. Krishna is the controller and father of all. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva work under his direction. Lord Narayan is the creator. He is the protector. He is the doer. Therefore, one should worship Lord Narayan's feet without doubt. Like this. This was the conclusion. So now, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is telling us Lord Caitanya is that same Lord Krishna and he has appeared to enjoy the pastimes of Sankirtan. So the sages now became free from doubt. They all concluded that Lord Narayan is the greatest. And they offered obeisances to Bhrigu Muni. That you have cleared our doubts. You made us peaceful. So from then onwards, the sages accepted the devotional service of Krishna. They became devotees of Krishna. And they also worshipped Brahma and Shiva as the devotees of Lord Krishna. So in this way, we heard the extraordinary characteristics of a perfect Vaishnava. Who are we talking about here in this whole episode? Who is the perfect Vaishnava here? Bhrigu Muni. In the beginning itself, it is said, Bhrigu Muni is a perfect Vaishnava, always thinking about the lotus feet of the Lord. However, who can understand this from his actions? Who can understand this? That is the question. So now we'll start today's verse 380. Parikshite karma ki na chilo kichu ar tara lagi korilena charana prahar. Charana Prahar, he attacked Lord Vishnu with his feet. He kicked on the chest of Lord Vishnu. Why did he do that? Parikshite karma. Ki na chilo kichuar. The purpose of his kicking Lord Vishnu's chest is simply to test. He has gone to test who is supreme. Is it Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Lord Vishnu? He's gone there to test. So for the sake of testing, he kicked the Lord on the chest. Charana Prahar, he attacked the Lord with his feet for the sake of testing only. Bhrigu's actions were only a test. They were nothing but that. Na chilo kichuar. There is no other purpose behind that. The only purpose of kicking is to test the Lord. Okay? सृष्टिकर्ता भृगुदेव जार अनुग्रहे की साहसे चरण दिलेना से हृदये. I mean, if it were not for the Lord's anugraha, the Lord who is Srishtikarta, he is the creator. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the creator of the worlds. If it were not for the Lord's mercy, how could Bhrigu have the audacity to kick the Lord's heart, his chest? Charana dilena se hridaye. He kicked the Lord on his chest, on his heart. Ki sahase. How could he have that type of audacity? Would it even be possible for anyone to kick the Lord on the chest? The Lord who is the creator, Srishtikarta. That means it only happened because of the Lord's anugraha, by his mercy, because he allowed it. That's why it happened. Srishtikarta Bhrigudeva Jara Anugrahe Ki Sahase Charana Dilena Se Hridaye. Now, why was the Lord so merciful to Bhrigu? I mean, Bhrigu kicked him on the chest. Why was the Lord so merciful to Bhrigu even though he kicked him on the chest? Abodhya, Agamya, Adhikarira, Vyavahara. Iha boi Siddhanta na dekhi kichuara. Abodhya. Abodhya means it is beyond your intelligence. Inconceivable. Abodhya. Agamya. Agamya means it's limitless. Agamya. Again, it's beyond your capacity to understand what adhikarira vyavahara. Vyavahara means behavior. Whose behavior? Adhikari. Adhikari means a qualified person. So what is the qualification here? What are we talking about? A pure devotee. A pure devotee who has that qualification his behavior cannot be understood. Abodhya, agamya, adhikarira vyavahar. Iha boi siddhanta na dekhi kichuar. So why was the Lord so merciful to Bhrigu? Even though he kicked the Lord's chest, the answer is the actions of very exalted persons cannot be understood by ordinary persons. This is the only conclusion. There is no other conclusion. Iha boi siddhanta na dekhi kichuar. अबोध्य अगम्य अधिकारी व्यवहार इहा वही सिद्धांत ना देखो किचुआर ना देखी किचुआर. That means I don't see any other reason except that the conclusion that the activities of an exalted personality, that means you're a great devotee, cannot be understood. Abodhya agamya, or you cannot understand and you cannot copy them also. You cannot imitate them. That's the only conclusion. I don't see any other. That means, why did the Lord show his mercy to Bhrigu Muni even though he kicked? Because what was Bhrigu Muni's intention there? His activities, he's a great devotee, first point. And such great devotees' activities cannot be understood by ordinary people, but the Lord understands. The Lord understands the purpose behind his activities, why he is doing that. That's why he was merciful. So if you say why the Lord showed mercy, because the actions of exalted personalities cannot be understood by ordinary people. We cannot understand. That is the conclusion. So Bhrigu Muni is kicking the Lord. That action cannot be understood by ordinary people. Then Mule Krishna Praveshiya Bhrigura Dehete. Now see, there's actually, that's not all. There's even more confidential knowledge here. Mule Krishna Praveshiya Bhrigura Dehete. Actually, Koraila Bhaktira Mahima Prakashite. It is not Bhrigu's doing, it's not Bhrigu Muni's doing, kicking the Lord's chest. He didn't do it on purpose. Actually, Krishna entered into the body of Bhrigu Muni. Mule Krishna Praveshya Bhrigura Dehete. Krishna, who is the root of all, who is at the root of this incident? Krishna is at the root. He is the one who made this activity happen, this pastime happen, where Bhrigu is kicking the Lord in the chest. In fact, Krishna himself entered into the body of Bhrigu and caused Bhrigu to kick the Lord, caused this incident to take place. Mule Krishna Praveshya Bhrigura Dehete. He entered into the body of Bhrigu. Koraila Bhaktira Mahima Prakashite. So he made Bhrigu do this act, or he made this incident happen. Why? What is it that the Lord wanted to achieve by this? Bhaktira Mahima Prakashite. The Lord wanted to glorify Bhakti. He wanted to broadcast the glory of Bhakti. Bhaktira Mahima Prakashite. The Lord entered Bhrigu's body and induced him to act in that way to manifest the glories of devotional service. Otherwise, Bhrigu would not have dared to act in that way if he were conscious of proper etiquette Normally, he would never even dare to do this. But it is the Lord who entered the body of Bhrigu and made him kick the Lord. And what is the purpose? To broadcast the glories of Bhakti. Jnana Purva Bhrigura e karma kabhu noy Krishna bada yena adhikari bhakta jay. So, Jnana Purva Bhrigura e karma kabhu noy. It's not that intentionally, in a pre-planned way, he didn't think that first I will go to Brahmaji's room, what do you say, his abode, and I will act in this way. I will, disrespect him. And then I'll go to Lord Shiva and I will act in this way. And when I go to Vaikunta, I will act in this way with Lord Vishnu. It's not that he planned that way and intentionally he went and kicked the Lord. No. Jnana Purva, Jan Bujkar, Bhrigura e karma kabhu noy. This act was never done intentionally or knowingly by Bhrigu. Krishna badayena adhikari bhakta jay. But Krishna is the one who induced Bhrigu to do this. For what purpose? Badayena, to increase adhikari bhakta jay, the glory of adhikari bhakta. Adhikari bhakta means the qualified devotee. Krishna wanted to increase the glories of his pure devotee. That's why. Otherwise, Bhrigu would never do this on his own. Jnana Purva Bhrigura e karma kabhu noy Krishna badayena adhikari bhakta jay. Then, okay, that is from Bhrigu's side, and it was actually the Lord who made him do that. Okay, that is understood. What about Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva then? Virinchi Shankara badaite Krishna jay. Bhrigure hoila krudha dekhaiya bhoy. They are also great devotees, pure devotees. Lord Brahma is a pure devotee. Our Lord Brahma is a pure devotee of our universe. Lord Shiva is a pure devotee. Now, Virinchi Shankara badaite Krishna jay. Now, as devotees, they want to increase the glory of Krishna, the fame of Krishna. They want to broadcast the glory of Krishna. Bhrigure hoila krudha. Therefore, they became angry with Bhrigu. Pure devotees, why will they become angry? Why will they expect some sort of respect or honor? They won't. They are not affected by these things. But still, they became angry with Bhrigu. Why? Because they are aware Bhrigu has come to find out who is the best. So they also wanted the Supreme Lord to be glorified. So they showed anger. Bhrigure hoila krudha and dekhaiya bhoy. And they caused fear in Bhrigu. Caused fear means they threatened Bhrigu. By showing anger, they became angry and also they tried to instill fear in Bhrigu. Like that. Why did they do that? To glorify Krishna, to increase the glory of Krishna. Badaite Krishna jay. Because they are devotees of the Lord. So Brahma and Shankara displayed anger and threatened Bhrigu Muni to increase the glories of Krishna. Bhakta Saba Jena Gai Nitya Krishna Jai. Krishna Bada Yena Bhakta Jaya Atishay. Now see, this is the wonderful relationship between Krishna and his devotees. Bhakta Saba Jena Gaya Nitya Krishna Jai. So, all the devotees, whoever is a devotee, he is Nitya, eternally, constantly singing Krishna's glories. how Krishna is wonderful, how great is Krishna, like this. The devotees are one who is a devotee of the Lord, or all devotees, they are constantly singing the glories of Krishna. Bhakta Sabajena Gayat Nitya Krishna Jai. And what is Krishna doing? Krishna Badayena Bhakta Jai Atishay. And Krishna increases the glory of his devotee, Atishay, even more. So there is competition between Krishna and the devotee. The devotee wants to sing the glory of Krishna, and Krishna wants to increase the glory of his devotee even more than the devotee wants to glorify Krishna. Like that, there's a competition. As the devotees always sing the glories of Lord Krishna, Krishna increases the glories of his devotees. This is the love between the Lord and his devotees. This is the competition between the Lord and his devotees in their love game. Each one is trying to defeat the other. How do you defeat the other? By glorifying that person more and more. So who will win? It's saying that Krishna is Atishay. Krishna Badayena Bhakta Jai Atishay. Krishna glorifies the devotee. Adhikari Vaishnavera na buji vyavahara. Jay jana nindaye tara nahika nistar. Now who is the one that is getting stuck? That person who does not understand na buji vyavahar adhikari Vaishnavera. That means that qualified Vaishnavas activities. One who does not understand the activities of this exalted Vaishnava, and because of that, he blasphemes that Vaishnava, criticizes that Vaishnava. So externally, his activities may not be according to etiquette. Not understanding that, one who criticizes that Vaishnava, tara nahiko nistar, he cannot be delivered. He can never be delivered. Vaishnava Aprad is a great Aprad. And what kind of Vaishnava? I mean, any type of Vaishnava, if you criticize, you will get reaction, severe reaction. But the more advanced a devotee, the more exalted a devotee, the more severe the consequence of criticizing that devotee. If one criticizes an exalted Vaishnava without understanding his behavior, he can never be delivered. So, we hear in Bhagavad Gita, apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhag sadhureva sammantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi saha. Actually, there's a lot of discussion on this particular verse, but according to context here, even if you see a devotee committing the most abominable activity, just try to understand. Here specifically it is said, if somebody is having, if a devotee, an exalted devotee, that means a pure devotee, if he's having even, that means he's doing the most abominable activity, not just ordinary sinful activity. What type of sinful activity? Like having sex with his guru's wife, for example. Or he's stealing others' wealth, property. So, extremely sinful activities. Even if he does extremely sinful activities, apichet sudura, it's not just durachara, sudurachara, apichet suduracharo, bhajate mam ananya bhag. But what is the condition? Bhajate mam ananya bhag. He is doing pure devotional service. What is pure devotional service? Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam anukulena krishnanushilanam. He is doing Shravana Kirtanadi Rupa Bhakti again and again. That means 24/7. Only to please Krishna. And that bhakti is not covered by karma, jnana, etc. He's doing Shravana Kirtanadi Rupa Bhakti only to please Krishna 24/7. And at the same time, he's doing these activities. What does Krishna say about that? Even though he's doing such durachara, sadhureva sa mantavyaha. Mantavyaha means manna hi padega. Why? क्षिप्रम भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वत शांतिम निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रति जानी नमे भक्त प्रणश्यति क्षिप्रम भवति धर्मात्मा. Very soon, because of his ananya bhakti, even though he has committed that offense, that abominable activity, very soon means either you can take it as immediately. You have to understand this is a pure devotee we are talking about. What is a pure devotee's consciousness? A pure devotee, first of all, he will not commit abominable activities knowingly. Such abominable activities, this is a very special case. But an extreme is given. The whole purpose of speaking this verse, Apiche Suduracharo, is to show the glory of bhakti. That's what you should see. Krishna wants to show what is the mahima, what is the glory of devotion, pure devotional service. Even if one committed the most abominable activity, bhakti is so powerful that he can be lifted even from that. He will, that abominable activity cannot stop him. Rather, this bhakti is so powerful, it is so glorious that kshipram bhavati dharmatma. Very soon, very quickly, he will be reinstated in the position of a pure devotee. He's already on the platform of pure devotee because he doesn't stop his bhakti. So, what is the context here? Even if a pure devotee is committing some, externally you see that he's doing some abominable activity, you should not, you should consider him to be a sadhu. That is Krishna's instruction here. Okay. We can discuss further if you have any questions during question answers. So that verse is quoted by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the commentary. That if you criticize an exalted Vaishnava without understanding his behavior, you will not be delivered. Even if he is doing some abominable activity, Krishna's instruction is you should consider him a Vaishnava. Then another verse quoted is from Sri Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, where it is said that a devotee who is situated in his original Krishna conscious position, a pure devotee, he doesn't identify himself with the body. A pure devotee is not on bodily consciousness. Now, one should not see such a devotee from a materialistic point of view. You should overlook any defects, material defects he may have, such as having taken birth in a low family, or he may be physically handicapped, he may have a bad complexion, or even he may have some habits, which are not, very exemplary. Material habits which are not very exemplary. Even if he has, you should overlook those. Why? Because he is situated in his original Krishna conscious position and he is a pure devotee who doesn't identify the self with the body. So the example given is the way river Ganges is pure, but sometimes you will see there is foam, bubbles, mud. You will even see sometimes, people pass to. But those who are faithful to Mother Ganges, they will just push all that dirt aside and they will take bath, because river Ganges, the water of the Ganges is always pure. So they don't pay attention to all the foam and anything else. The Ganges water does not become polluted. Those who are advanced in spiritual understanding will bathe in the Ganges without considering the condition of the water. So what do we understand from this? Even if you see some externally, seeing the behavior of a Vaishnava, if you criticize that Vaishnava, not understanding his exalted position, if you criticize that Vaishnava, then you are risking your spiritual life. You will not be delivered, it is said. You can never be delivered. Adhama janera je achar jena dharma adhikari Vaishnaveyo kore sei karma. Sometimes you see that an exalted Vaishnava is adhama janera je achar. What are those? So the activities of a low class person, adhama jana. You see that a Vaishnava, an exalted Vaishnava, seems to be doing those activities. Sometimes an exalted Vaishnava exhibits the same behavior and characteristics as a materialistic person. Then foolish, unqualified people go to hell because of considering Vaishnavas and non-Vaishnavas on an equal level. Now, a Vaishnava is doing this materialistic activity. Materialistic person is also doing the same. That means you see the same behavior. An exalted Vaishnava is having the same behavior as a materialistic person. So, a foolish person sees both of them on the same level. But one who does that will go to hell. Foolish, unqualified people go to hell because of considering Vaishnavas and non-Vaishnavas on an equal level. They find the sinful behavior of non-devotees in Vaishnavas. That means Vaishnavas are performing sinful activities. So they see sinful behavior of non-devotees in Vaishnavas. But the fact is, Vaishnavas are never sinful. So here, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the example of Vamsidas Babaji, a contemporary of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Vamsidas Babaji was residing in Swarupganj, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is in Yogpit. Vamsidas Babaji had these deities, and he was he didn't mingle with the people outside. He was always absorbed in his worship of the deities. And his method of worship was also, like Ragatmika devotees. So once it is said that one woman who was selling fish, she came to him and she was trying to give him fish. And for whatever reason, we don't know, he got the desire to eat fish, it is said there. And then when he realized that, he became so angry and he yelled at her and he sent her away. And then he went to the deities, and all the people around could see him, fuming, angrily, talking to the deities. They could hear him talk to the deities all the time. And when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had arranged for the brahmacharis to go and bring bhoga, some vegetables or some groceries, grains, to Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj from time to time. So when the brahmachari came, he just picked up a stone and threw at him. And also they said something like, he brought the deities out tied up and then tied with a rope and then put them in the Ganges and he was holding the edge of the rope under his foot. You can imagine people, ordinary people seeing such behavior, what they'll be thinking. So when the brahmachari came back to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and informed him, then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, don't go there anymore. Devotees shouldn't go there. And only one brahmachari who will deliver the groceries should go to deliver, but brahmachari shouldn't go there to him. After some time, after some days or after several days, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told the brahmacharis, did you think that I told you not to go see Vamsidas Babaji Maharaj because he is in Maya? I told you not to go? No, that's not the reason. Now, understand his bhava. And not understanding, we may commit offenses, right? You will go there and you may commit some offenses to a great Vaishnava. That's why. And then the next time, the brahmachari who would go with the groceries, when he went, he picked up a stone and he said, if you want to please me, then don't come here again. So, you cannot understand the activities of an exalted Vaishnava. That is the point here. Adhama janera je achar jena dharma adhikari Vaishnaveo kore sei karma. Externally, it looks like the Vaishnava is performing activities like a materialistic person. Sometimes Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj would wear, he's a complete virakta, like from the material perspective, totally renounced. But people would go to him to get his blessings. To get free from them, he would do all kinds of things. He would sit in the public latrine, which is stinking, but he would sit there and he would do his japa because nobody would go there to disturb him. Sitting in that latrine. Or sometimes he would dress, wear nice silk clothes, and purposely he will go on the streets so that everyone will see him and they will think, oh, now he has become a materialistic person or something. Right? So they won't bother him. And the people seeing that, those who actually think, Arey, he is also acting like a materialistic person. So what is the difference between the Babaji and material? Finished. Great offense. Also, we hear about Srila Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Such an exalted Vaishnava, a personal associate of the Lord, eternal associate of the Lord, but, nicely fragrant oil on his hair. He's chewing on pan, wearing nice opulent silk clothes. Even Gadadhar Pandit became bewildered. He thought this is a materialist. So that is why simply by seeing externals, you cannot judge who is a Vaishnava. Somebody who has served the Lord without duplicity, he can understand. We will also hear in the next couple of verses what is the suggestion for us that Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is giving us. So then how to understand? Krishna kripaye se iha jani bare pare e sabas sankate keho mare keho tare. So Krishna kripaye se iha jani bare pare. How can one know if he is a devotee or not? He's an exalted devotee and he's simply acting like this. Actually, even though he's doing activities like a materialistic person, in reality, this is an exalted devotee of the Lord. How can one know? anyone who by Lord Krishna's mercy, that means by Krishna's mercy. So by Krishna's mercy, if one has the power to understand the exalted Vaishnava's actions, then by that he will end all his troubles. That means if you're able to see the Vaishnava beyond those external activities that he's performing, the material activities, if you're actually able to see the Vaishnava, and how will you see? By Krishna's mercy. Otherwise, how you will see? By Lord Krishna's mercy. Krishna kripaye se iha jani bare pare. If you're able to know the Vaishnava, recognize the Vaishnava in spite of these external activities, again, it's not that, see, you shouldn't say that, it's not being said here that you should just put everyone in the same basket and say, all are same Vaishnavas. No. Here it is said that you'll be able to recognize. Didn't we see previously Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can see who is senior, who is junior, who is he can see. So similarly, one who is able to see the Vaishnava, and how can you see? By Krishna's mercy only you'll be able to see, recognize. And if you are able to see that Vaishnava behind these material activities, then you will end all your troubles and you will become delivered. This can only happen by Krishna's mercy. That's the point. The conclusion is that only by the mercy of Krishna can one understand a great Vaishnava. Otherwise, in such sankate, that means such difficult situations, one can either become liberated or you can become destroyed. Because you will see material activities and you will immediately comment something, you will commit an aparad. If that person happens to be a Vaishnava, then keho mare, keho tare. Koi marta hai. One person will die, the other person will go across the material ocean. One person is delivered and one person dies. During times of such, sankata. Sankata means difficult times. What are the difficult times here? The Vaishnava's activities resemble a material person's activities. So even though you see material activities, if you are able to see the Vaishnava, his Vaishnavata, if you are actually able to see, how you will see? By Krishna's mercy. So in the purport, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling us, one who is not favored by the Supreme Lord may bring about his own ruination by seeing superficially the characteristics of devotees, whereas another person may remain aloof from offense by not committing offenses. That means even though you see material activities, you don't commit offense there. Then you are saved by not committing an offense. And another person seeing the superficial characteristics of devotees, he will bring about his own ruination because he is not favored by the Lord. That means he will commit some offense. The pure devotee is always within the core of my heart, Krishna saying, and I am always in the heart of the pure devotee. My devotees do not know anything else but me, and I do not know anything else but them. So this is Krishna's stance. My devotee is in my heart and I am in my devotee's heart. You say anything to my devotee, the devotee won't mind, but Krishna will take revenge. He will not tolerate any offense to his devotee. That's why one person is getting delivered, another person is getting, he's meeting his ruination. Sabe ithe dekhi eka mahapratikara sabare koribostuti vinaya vyavahara. So now the solution is what? Srila Krishna, Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, Sabe ithe dekhi eka mahapratikar. So I have a solution to this problem. considering the whole situation, I have found a wonderful solution to this problem. Sabare koribo stuti vinaya vyavahara. You glorify all Vaishnavas with humility. One should always glorify and behave humbly with all. It's not even said Vaishnavas. It is said Sabare koribo stuti. Sabare, everyone. You simply glorify everyone. Vinaya vyavahar. And your behavior should be humble. Behave humbly with all. This is the solution to all problems. So this is a protection that you won't commit an offense. Now what is the solution? Sabare koribo stuti. Glorify everyone and behave humbly. Glorify everyone, behave humbly. Glorify everyone, behave humbly. One more time. Glorify everyone and behave humbly. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, it is said, one who greets a devotee of Vishnu and joyfully offers him obeisances, just as one offers obeisances to Vasudeva. That means you are offering obeisances to the devotee the way you would offer obeisances to the Lord. So such a person is considered a devotee of the Supreme Lord. And he is able to purify the three worlds. One who becomes joyful by seeing a devotee of the Lord and offers obeisances to that devotee the way he offers obeisances to the Supreme Lord. Such a person is considered a devotee of the Supreme Lord. That means when you are happy to see the devotee of the Lord and you honor that devotee the way you honor the Lord, then you are actually a devotee of the Supreme Lord and you can purify the three worlds. This is said in Hari Bhakti Vilas. And also, if a person who even after hearing harsh words, pay attention to this. If a person who even after hearing harsh words from a devotee remains tolerant, a devotee is speaking harshly to you and you remain tolerant, offers the devotee obeisances. Not only is he tolerant, he also offers obeisances. And he keeps talking to that devotee. Not that. Generally, what do? If somebody is speaking, not somebody, even if it's a devotee, speaking harshly to you, you just stop speaking to that person. But if a person who even after hearing harsh words from a devotee remains tolerant, offers obeisances, and converses with the devotee, then there is no doubt that person is a Vaishnava. What are the things? When a devotee is speaking harshly to you, you tolerate, you remain tolerant, you offer obeisances, and you continue to talk to that devotee. You remain tolerant, you offer obeisances, and you continue to talk to that devotee. Then there is no doubt that you are a Vaishnava. Same what Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi Sunichena, Taroriva Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadaharihi. Then, Agya Hoi Loibeka, Krishnera Sharana, Savadhane Shunibeka, Mahanta Vachana. Further instructions are given to us by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. First thing is, he said, glorify everyone and behave humbly. Then the next thing he's saying is, Agya hoi loi beka Krishnera Sharan. That means, Agya hoi loi beka Krishnera Sharan. That means, if you don't understand, Agya nahi, sorry, Agna, Agya na, Agna. Agna means not knowing, ignorant. If you are ignorant, you are not able to understand. You are not able to see the Vaishnavata in a person. When you see these material activities, for example, you are unable to see Vaishnavata. then what should you do? Agna ho, you are ignorant. Loibeka Krishna re Sharan. Take shelter of Krishna. When things are not clear to you, when you see some, you don't understand. Sometimes things seem to be contradictory. They don't make sense to you. Instead of immediately blurting out something or coming to some conclusions about the person, take shelter of Krishna. This is the instruction by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Loibeka Krishna re Sharan. Take shelter of Krishna. My Lord, please help me to understand. Take shelter of Krishna. And Savadhane Shunibeka Mahanta Vachan. Very, very carefully, attentively hear the words of the great Vaishnavas, Mahanta Vachan, advanced devotees. That is why hearing is very important at every stage. Offenses, all these offenses happen before we get firm faith in Bhakti. Once you get firm faith in Bhakti, the symptom of Dridha Shraddha, firm faith, is Sharanagati. You'll surrender to the Lord. And you will begin pure devotional service. Pure devotional service means 24/7. You're doing Shravana Kirtanadi Rupa Bhakti only to please Krishna. In that stage, you won't commit offenses. Because another quality of pure devotional service is your mood is to avoid offenses. You will have that mood all the time. So willingly, knowingly, you will never commit offenses. You will be extremely cautious, extremely careful not to commit any offenses. This is the sign of one who is rendering pure devotional service. But before that, yes, there is chance. Because we have our ignorance, or ignorance is not removed, avidya is there. And also we are coming with past offenses. One offense leads to another offense. So therefore, in that stage, you should hear from pure devotees. You should hear the instructions of pure devotees. By that, you can understand the philosophy properly. Your Dridha Shraddha can be formed so that you will be careful about not committing offenses. So here the instruction is, Agna hoi loi beka Krishnera Sharan. If you are ignorant, if you don't know, if you are not able to understand, take shelter of Krishna. Savadhane Shunibeka Mahanta Vachan. Very, very carefully and attentively hear the words of the advanced devotees. Thinking oneself a fool, one should surrender to Krishna and carefully listen to the words of advanced devotees. Okay? Or a person who does not understand all this should take shelter of Lord Krishna and carefully hear the explanations of great devotees. Then, Tabe Krishna Tare Dena Hena Divyamati. So, your approach is very humble now. Your being ignorant is not a disqualification. How are you, when you're ignorant, what is your attitude? What is your mood? Being ignorant, you're humbling yourself in front of the Lord, and you're taking the responsibility to know the truth by hearing from advanced devotees. Then this attracts Krishna's mercy. Then Krishna will give him that transcendental intelligence. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I will give him the intelligence by which he can come to me, Krishna says, right? So if you're always taking shelter of Krishna and taking shelter, hearing the words of the advanced devotees, Tabe Krishna Tare Dena Hena Divyamati Sarvatra Nistarapaye Na Thekaye Kati. Then Lord Krishna will impart that person with transcendental intelligence by which one is completely delivered without any hindrance. There won't be any obstacles in his deliverance. Krishna will impart him transcendental knowledge if you have this type of attitude. So in the purport, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying, those who do not carefully study Srimad Bhagavatam and who cannot understand the extraordinary characteristics of the devotees attain inauspiciousness. So the studying of Srimad Bhagavatam, understanding the philosophy of bhakti, of bhaktas, of the Supreme Lord, it's very, very essential. One who does not carefully study Srimad Bhagavatam and therefore cannot understand the extraordinary characteristics of the Vaishnavas, he will attain inauspiciousness. Inauspiciousness. Then that means you'll commit offenses and that will lead to your inauspiciousness. But the Supreme Lord imparts transcendental intelligence to actual devotees. So who are actual devotees? Who are taking the responsibility to study Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. And by that, they're also taking shelter of the Lord. They're trying to understand the extraordinary characteristics of devotees. To such people, the Supreme Lord imparts transcendental intelligence so that they do not meet with any inauspiciousness. They won't meet with inauspiciousness. But those who don't study Srimad Bhagavatam and therefore cannot understand the extraordinary characteristics of devotees, they will meet with inauspiciousness. But if you are humbling yourself, glorifying everyone, taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, and hearing from the advanced devotees, studying Srimad Bhagavatam carefully, then the Supreme Lord will give you the intelligence so that there won't be any inauspiciousness. What do you mean by not having any inauspiciousness? Even though they are faced with dangerous situations like this, right? That situation, if you make a wrong move, then you're finished. You'll commit an offense. So even though they are faced with dangerous situations, they do not meet with any inauspiciousness. If you have this type of mood and if you are sincere like this, then even though they face dangerous situations, they will not meet with any inauspiciousness. So once again here, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes that about 60 years ago, Lord Krishna displayed one similar merciful pastime by testing Sri Swarup Das Babaji Mahashay. I am not aware of that, so I don't have any information there. If anybody else knows, you can tell me. Then Bhakti Kori Je Shune Caitanya Avatar Sei Saba Jana Sukhe Pai Benistar. What is the Falashruti blessing? Bhakti Kori Je Shune Caitanya Avatar. So with devotion, whoever hears about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this avatar of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sei Saba Jana Sukhe Paibe Nistar. Happily they will all be delivered from this material bondage. So simply hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Whoever listens to the activities of Lord Chaitanya with devotion will be easily, Sukhe Paibe Nistar, will be easily freed from material bondage. They will attain liberation. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vrindavana Dasa Tachu Pada Yuge Gana. Sri Krishna. So accepting Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu as my life and soul, I Vrindavan Das sing the glories of their lotus feet. Or the two moons, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, are my life and soul. So this is the end of the Gaudiya Bhashya or the commentary of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur on the Antya Khanda, chapter 9, the glories of Lord Advaita. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the extended class.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandathanam. Thank you so much, Mataji, for so beautiful class and beautiful recap. You covered the whole pastime, so starting from it is actually needed, Mataji, because it is the last chapter and we need refreshment. Thank you so much, and you have explained so beautifully that why did Bhagavata even kick it? It is because of the desire of Mahaprabhu, of Krishna. Otherwise, how he has that audacity to even kick? That was so beautiful. And why did even Brahma, Shiva become angry? That is to glorify Krishna. So Mataji, just to confirm it, like when we see in the Daksha's arena, Bhrigu is criticizing the all the those devotees of Lord Shiva. It's just to glorify Lord Shiva, right? Is my understanding correct?
Bhrigu Muni is, yeah, even I was actually thinking about that. Bhrigu Muni was on the side of Daksha, isn't it? He was the one like performing the sacrifice for Daksha. So when he is defending or when they're having those back and forth arguments with the followers of Lord Shiva, so why is he siding? I cannot say exactly in that situation why. Yes, Prabhuji. I cannot say exactly, the exact reason why Bhrigu Muni acted like that over there. But I can tell you the principle, Vaishnava principle, I can tell you, Siddhanta. Just like you take the example of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj is a pure devotee. But when his brother Uttama was killed by the Yakshas, then Dhruva Maharaj went and took revenge, isn't it? And because one Yaksha killed his brother, he started killing all the Yakshas, went to fight with them. So then we may think, why is Dhruva Maharaj, he is a pure devotee, he already got darshan of the Supreme Lord. Why he is acting on the material platform? Somebody killed his brother, so he's going and taking revenge. You may think like that. The reason is, pure devotees, externally, it's not essential that all pure devotees should do this, because you have Bhajananandis and Goshtianandis. Bhajananandis, they have nothing to do with society. They'll just go somewhere and they will just be doing their bhajan all the time, and that is perfectly fine. But there is other class of pure devotees. So if you want to see in the recent times, like you have Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a pure devotee who is in this society, he has a family and he's also, a magistrate. He has a responsible position. That means they set example in society. They are pure devotees. Pure devotees means 24/7 they are doing Shravana Kirtanadi Rupa Bhakti. But they are also setting example in society. They are preaching to people, but also they are setting example. What type of example? Example of a grihastha, right? For example. So similarly, in Dhruva Maharaj's case, being a pure devotee, he is setting the example of a king, or he is setting the example of a brother. If your brother gets killed, you have to avenge the death of your brother. This is the example he's setting in society. How a brother should take responsibility. That means pure devotees set example. In material dealings also, Varna Ashrama Dharma, how to perform your particular Varna Ashrama Dharma, they set example. But they don't depend on that, because they are above all this. They are already there, they are constantly performing their Shravana Kirtan. However, these Goshtianandis, They live in society and they set example, like the Pandavas, Yudhishthir Maharaj and all the Pandavas, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj. They carried out their responsibilities in this world as kings. They're setting example to society. Like that, here Bhrigu Muni, when he is arguing, debating with on the the followers of Lord Shiva, he must be setting an example there. Because there they're performing one sacrifice. So yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know exactly, as I said, but from the Vaishnava Siddhanta, from that principle, I'm saying, even when one is a pure devotee, he can act on the material ground to set example to people like that in society.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for a very beautiful answer. And in fact, I was thinking that in this whole context, conversation back and forth, counter cursing, there was not even a word of Vaishnava. Brahmana word has used, but not Vaishnavas.
Right.
Mm.
And also Lord Shiva got up and went away because they were just about to come to Vaishnavas, because they say something about Lord Vishnu that and then Lord Shiva could sense, oh, now next from Lord Vishnu, now there is an opportunity of committing offense to the Lord and to his devotees. So immediately Lord Shiva left, then his followers also left before it could escalate to that level.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, if you have any questions or realizations, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. Very, very wonderful session, Mataji. Thank you so much for explaining these verses in so great detail. I don't have any question, but the class was extremely wonderful, Mataji. Thank you so much for your association.
Mataji is setting example.
No, Mataji.
Whatever we read just now, glorify everyone, behave humbly.
No, Mataji, this is not just a superficial glorification. I really mean it. Class was really very, very wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for your association.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, wonderful. What a nectarian class. Like, Hare
Krishna, wonderful class, Mataji.
Wonderful. Mataji, today I learned that you need to be humble and you need to glorify everyone. And I also learned that if you do Bhagavatam,
study carefully.
And if you are under the shelter of a senior devotees, then
hear from advanced devotees.
Hear from advanced devotees.
Yes.
Then there are chances that you don't make offenses.
Yes. And also one more thing that is said is, even if you meet dangerous situation, that means where there is a possibility of committing offense, what is the mood if you face such situation? You should take shelter of the Lord. You should take shelter of the Lord.
Yes. That part was difficult. That part was difficult to because there is a waiting time, right? You need to, when you surrender, then God helps you. But I know God helps, but there is a patience time in between. When no one, when you are looking for the answer, let's say if you did something or you don't understand, and also when you reach out to Vaishnavas, you don't also want to waste their time, because I understand there is also offense involved when you are reaching out and you are not able to get answer, and there is a patience time to get reflection or the connection back from Krishna, to not to do offense or do the right thing. And one thing I learned today is, like, even if you have glitches or something, you should always talk. You should not stop talking, and that is sometimes difficult to do. But
I didn't understand. You should always talk and not with devotees. Yes,
with devotees. With devotees, when you have when you are in a difficult situation and you are protecting your bhakti lata bij.
No, Mataji, the thing what is being said there is, if that means when someone has, a Vaishnava has spoken harshly to you.
Yes,
has
yes.
been, then after that, when the Vaishnava is speaking harshly to you, you remain tolerant. That means if they are speaking harshly, you don't retaliate and you don't react, but you tolerate, first thing. And after that, the person who has spoken harshly to you, you offer obeisances to that devotee and you continue to maintain, continue talking to that person without
Grudges
taking
or
any
anything.
offense.
Yeah, taking offense. Grudges is very important.
If you do that, then there is no doubt that you are a Vaishnava. That is being said.
Absolutely. Mataji, yeah.
So that means we should understand that being a Vaishnava is not easy, and doing this is also not easy. But that is the
Excellent,
goal.
Mataji. Very good. Excellent.
So that is the goal. We want to be there, but it's not easy. Of course, it's not easy. But if you're able to do that, not once, but every time, if you're able to do that, then there is no doubt that you're a Vaishnava, says Srila Vrindavan
If
Das.
something happened in some other Vaishnavas in front of some others, it is so sad, Mataji. On that time, we will.
That is a test, right? That is kind of a test.
Even though we are humble with senior devotees.
Yes, Mataji. Even though we are humble with senior devotees.
In our temple, on that time, we are doing some seva. They will come and shout with us.
So you should be humble. That's what is being said here.
On that time.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Very nice lecture, Mataji. Very nice lecture.
I think it will be better if you raise your hands so that there won't be any clash. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
Sudhakar Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Again, wonderful class summarizing the key aspects of the devotion. Just for the curiosity purpose, I'm just asking this question. Of course, I understand it's a God's Leela. We just learned, right, that pure devotee, like in the case of Bhrigu Maharshi, acting or, like putting his feet on the Lord's chest is all part of the Leela, right? Just came to my thought, how about the Lord Krishna himself when he was acting as a chariot to the Arjuna? I'm not sure. Again, it is a Leela, as we said that they are both incarnations, Narayan. But at that point of the time, when Arjuna in that Leela, he considered Lord Krishna himself as most of the time as a friend rather than the Supreme Lord, right? And during
No, not like that. Not like that. Arjuna is from Hastinapur. So he has Aishwarya Yukta Prema. That means he treats Krishna as his friend, but at the same time, he's also aware that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Both. So in Dwarka and in Hastinapur, like Kunti Maharani and Vasudev and Devaki ji, they are aware, they're conscious that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and at the same time, they have that Vatsalya Bhava, Sakhya Bhava. Both are there.
Because I got confused a little bit, because during the Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna is imparting the knowledge to Arjuna, I think I don't remember in which chapter, in between, I think Arjuna recognizes that he is the Supreme Lord. Till that such time,
universal form. When Krishna shows the universal form, that is different, because it's not that he's recognizing Krishna as the Supreme. The thing is, he's seeing the universal form now. He is used to seeing the sweet form of Krishna, two-handed form of Krishna. That is he is an eternal associate of the Lord. So he's He has a Sakhya Bhava, Sakhya relationship with Krishna, the two-handed form of the Lord. But now he is seeing this universal form of the Lord. He is seeing Karanodakshaya Vishnu. And in that, he is also seeing the Virata Rupa. And then seeing that Virata Rupa, then he is experiencing fear. So what is happening here is seeing this particular Aishwarya of Krishna. This particular Aishwarya, which Aishwarya? Of the universal form, into which, he's all these Kauravas on the other side, both sides actually, soldiers, they're all entering into his mouth and he's just chewing them and they're all getting smashed inside his mouth. That's one scene. So just seeing this Vibhutvam and this opulence of the Supreme Lord, the sweet relationship that Arjun had with Krishna as his friend, that was kind of affected temporarily. This is not a permanent change. Temporarily, that was shrunken. That means now this Aishwarya is taking precedence, and then Arjun is now experiencing this fear and awe and respect. So now he is not seeing Krishna as his friend. That means his natural friendship, that Sakhya Bhav, is affected when this Aishwarya of the Lord is revealed to Arjun. So this happens only in the case of devotees of Hastinapur and Dwarka. In Vrindavan, this won't happen. Yashoda Mai saw in Krishna's mouth, she saw all the universes. No change in her. She didn't think, oh Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord, let me offer my obeisances to you like that. No, she said, don't eat dirt again. That's all. She didn't think he is the Supreme Lord. But Arjun, he's like offering obeisances from front, from this side, that side, again and again. He's experiencing fear and he's saying, please forgive me. I was thinking, I joked with you, and in that friendly behavior, sometimes I, criticized you, made fun of you. Please forgive me. That means that activity was pleasing Krishna. He's joking. That's Sakyaras. But now Arjun is thinking that is an offense to Krishna. It is not an offense. But because of this influence of Yogamaya on him, where now he is seeing the Aishwarya of Krishna, his natural Sakya relationship is affected. That's why he's behaving like that.
Similarly, I'm sorry to...
no problem.
In other Leelas, like the Asuras, demons, like the Lord has what you call... as a part of his many Leelas, there are many demons, right? Ravana or anybody. So we should consider them as also part of the Leela, and they are also part of devotees. In a way, if you understand philosophical way.
No. 1 second. Here, who is revealing this Aishwarya of Krishna to Arjun? Yogamaya. There are the Lord's energy. Maya has, there is Yogamaya and there's Mahamaya. Yogamaya will only act on the liberated personalities, only on the devotees or Paramatma realized persons. Yogamaya will only act on them. And when she acts on them, when she reveals something to she can either reveal or she can hide. Like she can hide, she will act on Krishna also. For the sake of the Leela, Krishna will not remember that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He will only know that he is a small child and his mother is going to beat him with a stick and he is feeling fearful. How? By the effect of Yogamaya or Leela Shakti, Krishna also does not remember his Aishwarya. Similarly, Yashodamai also does not remember that Krishna is the Supreme Lord or anything. She sees Krishna only as her son. That's when that Leela becomes successful. So, Yogamaya acts only on the Lord and the, Paramatma realized personalities. She is not acting on the demons. Mahamaya acts on demons. Now you may say, but Ravana, Kumbhakarna, they are actually Jai Vijay, devotees of the Lord. But now they are not playing the role of devotees. They are acting as demons. So here, it's not that Yogamaya is acting on them and covering. It's not like that. Okay, Prabhuji?
Well, the point is not acting, Mataji. What I was trying to, maybe I did not put my question properly. Philosophically, if I understood the session, like any Vaishnava or any devotee action to the Lord, like in the case of the Bhrigu Rishi with the Lord, right? We think it is an offense. That's what you're saying. That's not offense. That's a part of the Leela and God's wish, that one, right?
Because he's a pure devotee. He's a pure devotee.
He's a pure
Demon
devotee.
is not a pure devotee.
How do we really say that a demon is a pure devotee or not? Otherwise, why Lord will show the mercy on them?
Pure devotee, pure devotee's definition is he will be doing anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karma dhanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam. Okay? Anukulyena krishnanushilanam, if you take, krishnanushilanam means doing activities with your body, mind or words for Krishna again and again. Okay? Krishna Anushilanam. Shilanam is doing activity with your body, mind or words. Anu means again and again. Krishna means for Krishna or Guru. Krishna Anushilanam. So if you take only Krishna Anushilanam, then Kamsa, demons, everyone will fall in this category. Because Kamsa is also again and again thinking of Krishna while eating, sitting, sleeping. He's thinking of Krishna. That means with his body, mind and words, or at least one of the three. With his mind is always thinking of Krishna. So he will also become a devotee. Therefore, Anukulyena is said. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Devotees will have Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. Demons will not have Anukulyena. They will have Pratikulata. They will, their bhava towards the Lord is Pratikula bhava. They want to kill the Lord. They want to fight with the Lord and kill the Lord. So their mood towards the Lord is Pratikula. Whereas devotees have Anukula bhava. Anukulyena Krishnanushilanam. That is the difference.
Okay, yeah, got it. Sorry for extending.
No problem. No, that's fine, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Sudhar. Mataji, do you have time?
Yes, no problem. Sundari
so
Rani
much.
Mataji.
Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for the wonderful class. Really appreciated the detailed explanations. I actually learned something new today, that this is the pastime of Bhrigu Maharaj. For some reason, I didn't put it together that this is Krishna in Bhrigu Maharaj to show his mercy. But I also have a question in that regard. You know, Bhrigu Maharaj was with his other
sages.
Sages, yes. He was with the other sages, and they wanted to know who is Bhagavan, who is the Supreme Lord.
Yes.
And so he took the task to do the test to see who who the Lord is. My question again is, as sages, isn't there an understanding that Lord Krishna or Vishnu is the topmost? Why did he have to go through that test to do that? Because all sages they know that Paramatma in their hearts, Lord Vishnu, and that is usually understood. So, yes, please.
Sure, Mataji.
Thank you.
Very good question. It's a very nice question. So the thing is, we take it for granted that everybody knows. You see, even in transcendentalists, there are different varieties. There is Gyanis, then there is yogis, Ashtanga yogis. There are different types of transcendentalists. And of course, there are devotees. So it is not that everyone is accepting Krishna as the supreme. Even there are, karma yogis also. They know absolute truth, but what is their understanding of absolute truth? Right? Somebody can take absolute truth as Brahman. Then when the goal is Brahman, you accept the form of the Lord as transcendental, Lord Vishnu's form, Lord Krishna's form as transcendental, but you are aspiring to go and merge into Brahman because you see that as supreme for you. Who will think like this? A karmi who gets the association of a jnani sadhu. His goal will be realizing Brahman, and that is the highest for him. That means even if he reads Bhagavatam, even if he reads Bhagavad Gita, the purports to those verses will mean that even when you're reading, there are direct statements in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. But the commentary will be, Jnani's commentary will be in such a way that that verse is showing that the ultimate goal is Brahman. So here the point is, in spite of reading Shastras, one will not be able to arrive at the conclusion of Shastra simply by reading. It all depends on the association of the sadhu that you get. If you get the association of a jnani sadhu, then you will see, in spite of reading the Shastra, you will only get faith and belief in what you hear from the jnani sadhu. And similarly, when you meet a bhakta, a devotee sadhu, if that means you meet, means you get the association, and in that association you get their mercy. Mercy is a key factor here. Parama Swatantra Bhagavad Bhakta Sangha Tat Kripa Jata. Parama Swatantra Bhagavad Bhakta Sangha Jata Tat Kripa. What am I saying? Parama Swatantra Bhagavad Bhakta Sangha Tat Kripa Jata Mangalodayena. That means your good fortune awakens. When does it awaken? In the association of Parama Swatantra Bhagavad Bhakta. That means supremely independent devotee of the Lord. In that devotee's association, when you receive that devotee's mercy, then your good fortune awakens. When you receive the mercy of a devotee, and then because of that mercy, when you hear Shastra, you will believe what you're hearing in the Shastra, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jivera Swarupahoy Krishnera Nityadas. Or, there are 3 Guna Avataras, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva. But Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they are not to be worshipped as the Supreme. Only Lord Vishnu is to be worshipped as the Supreme. And the reasons are given. When will you believe these words that are given by the Vaishnava Acharya commentary? You will believe it when you receive mercy. If you don't receive the mercy, as a karmi, if you hear that, you will only get the conclusion that, work hard and earn and enjoy. Dharma, artha, kama. That's the only conclusion you will get. So amongst the sages also, it is not that all sages are devotees. Even when they were hearing Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadev Goswami, that dialogue was going on, Srimad Bhagavatam was being spoken, there are different varieties, different types of sages sitting there. Some are Jnanis, some are yogis, all types of personalities were there. Ashtanga yogis, like that. So it is not that everybody knows. And they said there also that some people are saying Brahma is supreme, someone else is saying Shiva is supreme. And then some Shastra Puranas also. You have Satvika, Tamasa, Rajasa Puranas. That means Satvika Puranas are meant for people in the mode of goodness. In Satvika Puranas, Lord Vishnu is said as supreme. And in some other Satvika Puranas, Lord Krishna is said as supreme. Then in Tamasa Puranas, Lord Shiva is said as supreme. Rajasa Puranas, Lord Brahma, like that. So therefore, simply by reading Shastras, you cannot come to a conclusion. You will know the conclusion by following Mahajans. Mahajano yena gatasya pantaha. By following their footsteps, then you can know. That's the point. Okay, Mataji.
Thank you so very much, Mataji. I really appreciate you. Hari Paul.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It's great.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Sorry, I'll be very quick because I already asked this question. So, Mataji, when we have like a discussion or someone says harsh words, it is and you are working towards Krishna, and you want something to keep on going, and you don't have any grudge for this person who is, because you understand the Shastra a little bit, right? So having grudge does not, it actually it affects you more than the other person. Makes you fall down, but you want to continue, but it also impacts your bhakti lata beej. But you are not disrespecting other person, and you want to create a small line to reduce the discussion, so
Yeah,
that
that's
can be
fine.
challenging. That can be challenging, right? But in your heart you should be clear, and with Krishna, your connection, you should be very clear that you have only love for them and no grudges, but just to help your bhakti lata beej, you are creating this
Also, you should remember here it is said a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is speaking harshly to you. So then towards the Vaishnava, you have this type of behavior. But the person who is being harsh to you may not be a Vaishnava. Then you should not, you add, I mean, you stay humble and all that, but that's to be on the safe side. But in some cases, so
yes,
you got the point, right?
I got you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wonderful
So
class.
therefore, yeah, if somebody is not if the person is not a Vaishnava, and if the person is being harsh to you and all that, so then you may just stay silent, right? You may not go and fall on their feet. You may not be offering obeisance system. May not be. You may not. So
Yes,
like that.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I believe Vaishnavas are not harsh only when sometimes in the services they might become harsher.
Yeah, I mean, they have every right to. You see, mercy can come in any way. They can be harsh also. Just now we read Srila Vamsidas Babaji. He took a stone and he was throwing at them. So then, that's why I'm saying, he's a great Vaishnava, but we may not recognize him. And then we may react in a certain way or form some conclusions about it. That becomes an offense. Because by his external behavior, you're not able to tell. That's the thing. He's a Vaishnava. He can be harsh. And what to speak of spiritual master, right? Who's because we need, if we are always speaking nicely, we don't learn. Sometimes we need some harsh chastisement to shake us up. So they do whatever is needed. So that is also their mercy. Getting chastised, when they chastise us, when they speak harshly to us, that's also their mercy to wake us up from our ignorance. They can behave in any way. Yes, no problem. They can act in any way, no problem.
Thank you.
Mataji, sorry, just on the same point which you asked to explain. How do we know the other person is a devotee or non-devotee? So, what I mean to say, in practical life, yeah, we learn that yes, we should try to respect all the people, irrespective of their Vaishnava, this thing, right? We learn from the Chaitanya, the previous one, to be on the safer side, and this also have to be. But my question is,
that is also answered. That is also answered in that only. Only by Krishna's mercy you can know if the person is a devotee or not.
Yeah,
and then it is, and then if you are agna, if you are ignorant, you don't know, you cannot tell, then you have to take shelter of Krishna. You have to take shelter of Krishna. You should hear from advanced devotees. You should very carefully study Srimad Bhagavatam. Then, by Krishna's mercy, you'll be able to know who's a Vaishnava.
Understood, Madhuri. My question is slightly in between those two.
Achha.
Yeah, we don't know the other person. Okay. No, even we don't do intentionally or unintentionally or without knowledge, right? We are still not even up to that level. So, does God consider this aparad real? Because aparad mein, what I understood so far is, knowingly if you do, it is an aparad. Unknowingly if you do.
Knowingly or unknowingly, aparad is aparad. Fire will burn you, whether you know it is fire or it's not. It is aparad. Aparad means aparad. Even if an animal does aparad also, it is aparad only. It's aparad. However, when the aparad is done without any dauratmyam, wickedness in the heart, when you do unknowingly, there is no wickedness, there is no intention. That means there's no wickedness in the heart. Even though it is an offense, the punishment is lesser. You come out of that offense with less punishment. But if you do it knowingly, that means you know it is an offense, it should not be done, and still you do it, then that means there is wickedness in the heart, so that becomes severe. The result of such offense is your heart becomes very hard. And because the heart becomes hard, your bhajan will be affected.
Affected. Okay, got it. Thank you, Mataji. Sorry.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Sudhakar. Thank you so much, Mataji, for answering all the questions so patiently. Thank you so much, Mataji. And thank you so much for wonderful class. Once again, we look forward to your association again in the near future. Dear devotees, let us pay obeisances to Mataji. Vancha kalpataubhisha
patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo
Namo
namaha.
Namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Ki jai.
Jai.
Mataji ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So much,
Dandavat
Mataji.
pranam. Such a wonderful class.
Hari
Very
bol. Jai.
insights. Hari bol. Jai. Radhe Radhe.
Thank you, dear devotees. We'll end up here. See you all tomorrow.